Okay. Hello, call me Ebony. And today I would like to read a book with you. Not just any book. It is a 50 Shades of Grey knockoff. A few years ago, I was just shopping, buying every single Kindle book that I can that was free, and a lot of them had a common theme of a really rich guy, a billionaire, who would just hire some really young and naive girl and hit on them and then eventually tie them up and beat them, and life's good. And these books were free, but they were also short. So the one I have today, it's called Kept. I've Become His Dirty Little Secret. In parentheses, Kept, Taken, Controlled. Book 1. If you like 50 Shades of Grey, you'll love this book. I didn't, but we'll see if everything is the same. Wow, I just love reading that. The I is lowercase, and that bothers me so much. To be honest, I wish, lowercase again, I could see live or as movie. A Lush Stories user. I should visit Lush Stories. Let's see what's over there. This book is free on the Kindle. It is 43 pages long. But let's see if it matches with a lot of the 50 Shades of Grey stuff that is pretty much required. So we need a really rich guy that finds this really naive girl who is 20 and a virgin and doesn't know a single thing and forces her into BDSM. And she's in an abusive relationship with this billionaire. What else? Terrible BDSM etiquette, that's another one. I think those are the main issues with 50 Shades of Grey, but let's see if it translates into this knockoff. So I have my iPad here. I really like this. It's really nice. 43 pages. Should be moving along really quickly. Let's read the first sentence. I lay on the bed as he shut the door behind him, his cum dripping out of my pussy. Discarded. Used. Yay! Off to a good start. Staring up at the ceiling, my heart was racing from what has just happened. I had come a long way from the innocent girl my parents had raised. I waited a few minutes before standing up and getting into the shower, one of the few pleasantries in the room. He'd given no indication of when he would return. He kept all the control for himself. Like the steam that was filling the shower, memories of the weeks leading up to this point filled my mind. I allowed myself to indulge in them. Hey, Casey, Mr. Davis called out the window of his car as he always did. I waved to him as he pulled into his driveway before coming over to have a quick chat while setting up a bird bath in front of my house. How's school going? College. Please? College? I hear you're trying to get into med school. Oh, okay. University. Please. It's gotta be tough. It's okay, I guess, I replied. Keep at it. Nobody likes quitters. If you want something in this life, you have to take it. I don't think he knew what I would be up to later tonight, but because of him, Friday nights were my favorite day of the week. Okay. We'll find out, whatever that means. Good, he said before returning to his own house, leaving me to my task. He would go back inside, change out of his boring business casual clothes, and into his good stuff before heading out on the prowl. I perched myself on the couch near the picture window, looking over the street, waiting eagerly for him to return. I enjoy watching to see what kind of woman he would bring home. Is he the billionaire? It helped me form a better mental picture for when I needed it. Just like clockwork, there he was again, dragging another beautiful woman into his house. It never seemed to take him long to find something he desired. It was the same thing every weekend. He and some beautiful woman would step out of his BMW. He's rich. He has a BMW. And head straight for his house. This time she was a businesswoman. High heels, hair up, and in her early 30s. Don't know how you can tell, Miss Judgy. I bet she's 28. He'd been doing this for as long as I could remember. I started to get curious around the age of 14. I didn't fully understand what was happening. At 14? At 14! But it provoked weird feelings inside of me, and I liked it. But as a fully grown 19-year-old woman, I knew exactly what was going on. Yeah, he's the billionaire. I would still occasionally sit outside his window and listen, picturing what he did to them as my hand would reach below my skirt. They shut the door behind them, and I snuck around the back, quietly making my way over the window he always seemed to leave open. I could sit there beneath it without being detected, but I had to be careful not to rustle the gravel below too much. Oh, below the window. I thought she snuck in the house through the window. You're just as effed up as he is. Sit, I heard him say, eyes closed. I never seen the inside of his house, but I always imagined there was a simple chair in the middle of the room on the other side of the window. I told you to close your eyes, he spoke again. What are you going to do to me? The woman asked, a hint of nervousness in her voice. Close them, he repeated, hands behind the chair. I could hear his shoes clopping against the wooden floor. Picturing him walking over to tying her up always got my juices flowing. So why are you here? He asked. His voice was deep. I'm pretty sure he knows that she's there because he's always leaving the window open. It's weird, dude. She hasn't been the legal age for that long, and she's been doing this since she was 14 and didn't know what it was. Yeah, okay. In this day and age of internet, your reputation. Good, so you know how this works then. I think so. Wait here. Humph! She made a surprised grunt through the gag on her face, just like all the rest of them did. Is she watching this? The sound of his footsteps dissipated into the next room. He didn't come back for a good 10 minutes. I always hated when he did this. I just wanted to get off and get on with my night. Watch porn! Watch porn! Clear your history when you're done, but watch porn. Spread 'em, he barked. The sound of a vibrator starting up in his hand sent shivers down my spine. Again, the details that she's giving is like she's looking. She's not watching, but she's giving details like she is. Got louder as his footsteps came closer. For all you know, just hanging there on a string. I heard her moans intensify, my fingers keeping pace with the woman, rubbing anxiously against my clit. Your uncontrolled orgasms always got me off. If you come, I'll make you regret it, I hear him whisper, but only barely. I could hear that she was getting too close. She wouldn't be able to hold it back much longer. She tried to speak. What was that? I can't hear you, he replied. She tried again with no success. She tried again with no success just before. Blah, 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 blah. Screams of pleasure were intense. My fingers flicked over my clit furiously, almost pushing myself over the edge. I had to hold back. I didn't want him to hear me. You're going to regret that, he snarled. This way. My imagination took over as I pictured him leading her to the next room, where she would submit herself to him. I finished letting out my final moans as quietly as I could, afraid someone might hear me and know what I was doing. You're outside, beneath his window. Unless there's like a 24-foot high fence, someone's probably looking. Alright, so she's done touching herself. Her and her best friend are going to a club, and I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna guess billionaire dude's gonna be there. Alright, so Casey and her friend Sarah are at the club. They're trying to get some dude Daniels for Sarah. Like, Sarah wants this dude named Daniels, so she's using Casey to help her get Daniels, and a dude there bought them a drink, and he's interested in them, so that's another thing that's happening. How would you like to upgrade your lover for tonight, hun? Who's that? An upgrade? Huh, you can't upgrade from a sure thing, hun. Who's talking? Hold on, Daniels? Okay. I'm a sure thing, and I'll be much more fun than her, Sarah responded. Nah, not worth it. How about the two of us then, Sarah asked, motioning to me. He turned to me with intrigue in his eyes before turning back to Sarah. Both of you. Tonight, he asked. Sarah grinned and nodded. Fine, let's go. He put his drink down on the bar and walked to the exit. He's a piece of shit. He put the drink down the bar and walked to the exit. Sarah grabbed my arm and followed. What are you doing? I asked her. Come on, trust me. What? You just offered me to that guy without even asking? I stopped her. Yeah, but he's so hot. And you know his reputation. Never heard that before. Come on. She pulled me along out the door. We lost him in the crowd, so we waited at the archway out of the rain. His black limo glistened in the rain as he rolled down the tinted black window and waited for us to join him. We walked over and got in before the car drove off through the dark, wet streets. He's the billionaire? Okay, so Mr. Neighbor Dude... I thought Mr. Neighbor Dude was going to be the billionaire, but this random dude with a limo at a club definitely got some money. He got champagne, has a limo. Blah, 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 blah. Threesome's happening. Threesome's still happening. I'm getting very bored. The car came to a stop. We're here, he said as he pressed a button overhead. James, would you be a gentleman and allow one of these ladies to use your jacket for a moment? I feel really bad for the driver. The poor driver. He does this on the daily, I bet. Of course, Mr. Daniels. We got out of the car, and to our surprise, we stood before one of the most luxurious apartment buildings in the city. James was standing by the large glass doors, waiting for us. Sarah nudged me with excitement as we followed Daniels to the doors. I bet he's on the top floor, penthouse, has the whole floor, owns the building. I'm making a lot of bets, and I tend to not win, so make your bet. You girls ever been in $1 million penthouse? Called it penthouse. Daniels asked with a grin as the elevator doors shut behind us. When we stepped out into his place, the view was breathtaking. There were windows all around us, giving us a perfect view of the city lights. He led us over to the large sofa bed as James turned the dial to turn on the... Oh my god. He led us over to a large sofa bed as James turned the dial to turn on the fireplace. I struggle so much. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, God, James is in on it. It's a foursome. James is in on it. What? That's the driver's in on it. Sarah and I looked over to see James walking towards us, tossing his bow tie to the ground and unbuttoning his shirt, revealing an incredibly sexy body. Descriptive. Thank you. The foursome, now foursome continues. That was a surprise. Wow. Okay, it's over, and I think they're sleeping over. I skimmed through the sex stuff. It's really... I'm not a prude, but the word to describe this correctly would be lewd. You got words like cock, asshole, massive cock, is another thing coming, blah, 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 pussy. I'm bored. I am very bored. Blah, blah, blah. The best friends do it. Okay. So James drove us back to my place after breakfast. Wait. She is 19. Does she not live with her parents? That'll probably come up later. Because she was gone for the night. Isn't anybody worried about that at all? Oh, nope, never mind. Shit, my dad's car was there. He hadn't left yet. She in trouble. We tried sneaking into the house without being heard, but our efforts proved futile. He saw us. Where were you two last night, he asked. We crashed at a friend's house. With the in front, you are very believable. Oh, really? Which one of your friends drives a Lexus? That's her dad's, Sarah chimed in. Oh, okay then, he looked at us, eyes narrowing in disbelief. Mr. Davis is coming back. Mr. Davis is the dude that brings home women every day, every night. So, let's see here. Pretty sure they're gonna get it on. Still. Alright, so now Casey is stalking her neighbor, so he can pick her up and she can get into the whole BDSM thing. I stopped my car and watched him walk down the sidewalk to an old rundown building. I didn't understand why he was here, so I waited in my car expecting him to come back out. I waited for 20 minutes before my curiosity got the best of me. He knew you were following him. I read the name of the store. Ed's VCR Repair Shop. I walked slowly and headed to the back, where I heard a muffled sound of music. The music was coming from behind two large black metal doors. I swallowed my nervousness and pushed open the right door, allowing the soft sound of music to clearly fill my ears. The place was relatively small, but incredibly elegant. I felt so out of place there. I approached the bar to the left and leaned against the railing. "Oh, looky, what have we got here?" I looked over to the bartender making her way to me. "Are you lost, sweetheart?" "No," I looked at her, slightly confused. "Can I get you something to drink then?" No one's asking for an ID. I get ID'd all the time. No one's asking this girl for an ID. She looks lost. Are you not going to ask for an ID? "I'll have a Long Island iced tea. Do you know what this place is, darling?" she asked, as she poured my drink. "Not really." "Be careful then. The men here are like vultures, and they love fresh meat." She slid the drink over to me. Before I can even bring the straw to my lips, a man leaned up against the bar beside me. I looked over. It was Mr. Davis. "What are you doing here?" he said, concern in his voice. So eloquent, that one. "You shouldn't be here. You don't belong in a place like this." He grabbed my arm. "I'm taking you home right now." He dragged me out to his car, my drink still in hand. She just held the drink all the way to the car. Is it in a glass? I just got this really funny image in my head. "What were you thinking following me there?" "I don't know. I was bored and curious," I replied. "What was that place?" "Never mind that place. I'm just glad I found you first." Even if it is a BDSM club, I'm pretty sure it's... His gentle gaze lasted slightly longer than it should have, causing my pussy to grow warmer. "Why, though?" He didn't speak the entire way back to his place, where he passed your car. Your car is there. Your car is just gonna stay there, I guess. She lost her car. He can buy her another one. When he pulled up to his house, he didn't get out of the car. He just looked over at me, obviously conflicted. "I've heard you," he said. "What?" I replied. "Obviously. I heard you outside my window. I can hear the rocks under your feet when you're there." I could feel my chest tighten and my pussy getting wetter. Why? I was so certain that I had been silent. "Your little moans as you touch yourself listening to me," he trailed off. His eyes were burning with desire. "I was wondering how long it would take for you to come get the real thing." "How old are you?" I'm concerned. He opened his door and got out, walking to his house. I sat there for a few seconds, filled with both need and confusion, before I threw open the door and followed him up the well-lit stone pathway. "I'm sure you know how this goes by now." He shut the door behind us, his eyes never leaving me. I found myself frozen. I found myself frozen in place, unsure of what was about to happen. I didn't want to make the first move. "Well," he looked at me expectantly, motioning to a doorway with nothing but a single wooden chair behind it. Wow, she knew. Probably because she looked one day. But she knew what was in that room. A wooden chair, though? That's uncomfortable. But whatever, it's not about her. Never is. It's always about the man. I knew what was going to happen in that room. I could feel my sexual excitement building as each step took me closer and closer to that chair. I took a seat, closed my eyes, and put my arms behind the chair. I waited for his orders. Good, you have been paying attention then. Leading me with one hand to the room I've always had to imagine. Oh, we're getting the room. We're getting his playroom with his Xbox and stuff. And his VR system. His PlayStation, his Switch. I bet he has the Wii U. We went down the stairs and through a hidden door in the back of his basement, behind which nothing was furnished and the walls were bare. Nothing in the room except the bed and shower. He sat down on the bed. "On your knees," he commanded, pointing to the floor in front of him. I did as I was told. The power in his voice left me helpless. When my knees hit the cold concrete, he unbuttoned his pants, grabbed me by the back of my head. This is funny. It's funny. Forcing me forward onto his beautiful penis. It says cock, but I'm saying penis. Like, It's just that whole thing was pointless, but it's cute. That's funny. Isn't that another thing in 50 Shades where just Christian's his penis just so amazing and great and just the best thing about him. Apparently it's the same for this dude. So pretty obvious they had sex, but I don't know if she's on birth control and he just, it's like all up in her. That's concerning. Blah, 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 blah. That's the end of the first book. Oh my. Didn't. I think it's pretty clear that I didn't like that. Something I want to check real quick is, so this book was free, and obviously they do the free book thing to get you hooked onto the series, because the next book in the series is $2.99 on Kindle. I want to know how long it is. 35 pages. 35 pages. $2.99 for 35 pages. The third book in the series is 36 pages. How much was it? $2.99 again? Also $2.99. 36 pages. Alright, so let's compare. Let's do one last comparison. Oh, something else about 50 Shades of Grey, how it was just difficult to get through the sex scenes because they were so long and drawn out. I was very bored reading these sex scenes. I was told everything. I wasn't shown anything. I skimmed through them, so I didn't really care. I do love me a good smut, but I'm bored. I don't care about his massive cock and the other guy's massive cock and his abs and just how he's just pounding you, and I'm bored. I'm bored. Give me something else to do. Give me something else to read. And in terms of BDSM, I mean, she got tied up. That's pretty much it. She went to a hidden club. I'm guessing that's where the BDSM comes in, but we didn't really get that far in this first free book. Thank God it was free, because I'm not paying $2.99 for another one. All in all, it is very much like 50 Shades of Grey in the sense of it's nothing but a dirty story. There's no real story. It's just a whole bunch of sex, and I got bored. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below how you like this I've been his dirty little secret, kept taking controlled book. It's free on Amazon. Give it a shot. Doesn't take long to read. It's totally cool. I'm going to enjoy my tea, and I will see you in the next one.